Good morning everybody and welcome back to a hotly anticipated episode of building a Hyrule Castle minifigure scale model in Lego. And I don't even know what update we're on now, but welcome on back. And today I'm going to be showing you all the latest progress that I've made to this humongous model. It really is shocking just how big this thing is. But today we're going to be not only finishing up the front left of the ground floor, but also making our way to the back right. And I've got some detail work as well as some new interiors to show you along the way. All in preparation for our goal for the end of the year, which is to finish the ground floor along with the library and the east passage as well. So we're going to start off in the front left corner, and we sort of done some of this last time, but this is just sort of finishing off this area after the west passage. And you can see that as we flow around over the top, we had these three green sections that we saw before, but now of course that sort of gives you a bit more of an idea of the shaping about where that roller coaster track comes out on the left and then slopes round. Of course, at the very front is the newest section, and this is actually where the front gatehouse will sit once we've finished the other side, and this sort of marks the completion of the left side. Now you may be asking why my plan isn't to come and just sort of keep going round from the front of this, round from front to back on the right hand side, and that's mostly because I believe that the front is a lot more susceptible to scaling than the back is, meaning it will be much easier to sort of work from the back and then see what space I'm left with to make the gatehouse look right, rather than continue with the gatehouse and end up with a squashed section around the back of the docks where space is already very tight. As I've been preparing for the library, lots of calculations have been done, and it sort of shows you that I'm pretty much on scale still. I'm still pretty confident in how it's going. However, there are some initial concerns that the docks may be too big. But anyway, that's not what we're here to look at. Here you can see the waterfalls coming down along this front section. These are the waterfalls that you cross over on your way to the first gatehouse. You can see the entrance to the west passage down below on the left, and of course we've got this greenery. This area is still to be decorated. One other interesting fact about this area, of course, is that eventually there will have to be a room under here, because underneath this front gatehouse is where the royal secret passageway goes in Tears of the Kingdom. Now, this obviously wasn't there in the Breath of the Wild castle, but we will be including the passageway sinking down from the observatory all the way underground, and as much of the tunnel as I can fit in this space. Now, the tunnel will not go beneath levels and then sort of reappear on the other side of the river, because all we're doing in this model is the castle bridge. However, I do want to try and include a portion of it, or whatever can fit in this space that you can see on your screen now. This is about all the progress that has been done on this front left corner. However, there is still plenty more to show you. So let's jump back to about the middle left. This is sort of below where Zelda's tower is. And there's a couple of different landscapes here. And the first thing I did this week for this stuff was to put all of the trees in. So these are all based off the accurate tree placement. Any major tree is placed where it would be found on the castle island, and you can see that we have got a mix of different ones here. We have some more taller, I suppose, pine-like trees, we've got some smaller ones, and we've got some birch as well. There are also plenty of bushes, and these aren't accurately placed in the game, but they are designed to sort of create some barriers, make some visual interest. And this whole area here is the shooting range. One of these exterior angles, basically, it's a nice nature walk, but it's being used by the Hyrule military to practice their archery skills, and we'll have a sword fighting one of these as well. You can actually see this in action through the different targets that are all in the trees. You've got 3 markers using Harry Potter 1 pieces on the floor to represent the 3 difficulties or skill levels that you would have to have in order to hit all the targets. And we've got crates and racks with bows on and other different bits of equipment. We also have the entrance, or the above entrance, to the Stalnox room in the lockup. I think I've talked about this before, but in Tears of the Kingdom especially, but also in Creating a Champion, it's discussed that the Stalnox was lowered into the lockup as a live Hinox. So naturally, they needed the hole here to do this. So using Creating Champion as a resource, we were able to sort of place this above the hole, and you can see you've got the chains ready to lower any creature down into the training arena from below ground. And this adds a nice bottle of colour and some visual interest. You've got all these lovely pine trees behind it. But that's not all for the exterior here, as just on the other side of the wall that forms the background of this shooting range, we had another little area, and this is on the switchback, as I've sort of dubbed it. And there's a little pond off to the side, but more importantly, we have this graveyard as well. And I thought it would be important to have a graveyard for the royal family, or for members of people that live in the castle, in a sense. This isn't a Castletown one, but of course Zelda's mother would be here, and a couple others. So you've got a bench, a shrine, a little bit of path working, and a couple of other things as well. And there is an Easter egg to the Triforce in the tiling beneath one of these these murals, but we'll leave that for whenever we turn this model into real life. Actually, just above from here, there is a new section being dubbed as S1, and this is actually going to be the exit point for our water pump room. Those of you who've been around for a while know that the water pump has changed multiple times over its course, and I have finally scaled it to its exit. So now that this archway here beneath this staircase is in, and this is just beneath Zelda Tower, we can actually get a good idea of where the water pump room is going to go. From this shot, you've seen that I've actually changed the ground floor level to include the sort of control room, or I don't know what you'd call it, the cog room, where you can actually switch on the air. And now that that's in, I can continue upwards again with this room and get this one completely finished. But for now, here's just a quick look inside the room. You can see we've got the little hidey hole at the back. We've got the switcher, a dark brown floor, as well as a couple of other barrels and racks of weapons, exactly like you would see. And on the wall, we have the soldier's version of the crest, compared to the Royal Guard version of the crest, of course, compared to the soldier version that appears in the lockup. Again, more wall decoration accurate to the game, and it's great to recreate these to bring this castle to life, because of course this castle model is pre-calamity. But onto the new content. As you've been looking at this overview image, you can see that everything flows around to the back now, where previously the lockup, where previously the docks was almost exposed, we have this whole new section of plate work which covers it all up. So firstly, you can see we've got this small green area that passes over a waterfall through a little bridge, and then there's this little drop down area which I've now decorated, and this has sort of been decorated as a lumberyard. So here there were some trees, they've now been chopped down. This isn't supposed to suggest that they're foresting, or this is actually like the forest of trees that they used to build all the wooden things in the castle, but it's just a small area that's being reworked, and you've got a campfire and a log storage. Perhaps this is the plantation for fueling the fires of the inside of the castle, like the hearth places. And there's also this rocky section of wall. This is actually there in the game. It's a little weird, I'm not sure what it's supposed to represent, but it adds some much needed colour, and I was more than glad to add it in here. We've actually continued around a little further. This area though is not decorated. This is sort of a last little peninsula bit that comes around, and this will be the start of another waterfall. But this is also important, as allowing me to scale this has sort of led me to be able to place the library as you've been seeing in that big image. So I've worked on where I want to put it, scaling it, making sure it fits and isn't squishing things, and that I've got enough room to do the interior that I want as well, which was really important to me to make sure that we're going through. Currently a little bit more decoration work is being started along the back as well. One of my ideas for this area is to include an excavation site. Previously on a build we've already included a guardian half out of the dirt, but that one I imagine being exposed. This one is currently being studied or trying to be pulled out the rock wall, so we've got a tarpaulin as well as a variety of scaffoldings all around it to sort of create that imagery. But that is pretty much all I have to show you. Hopefully this was worth the wait. Next one will it'll be a little bit as well, but ideally I want to make some more progress with the library, at least getting the ground floor done, as well as continue that rock work around the right side, or at least get some decoration done so that we can continue to work through the skulls. But I'm still committed to getting it to a certain point by the end of the year, and I hope you're excited to see what it looks like as it continues to progress. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this update, as well as anything that you think I should be adding to the castle. There are a couple of rooms that obviously are blocked off and that we don't know what was inside them, so we get to make some exciting decisions, or if you've got any ideas about things that would fit very well for the exterior. But otherwise, I've got a plan and I'm going to stick to it, and I will see you again very soon for a Lego centric video, followed by another custom set. So plenty to look forward to. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.